problem. Yes, you're in the new Providence, where niggas get to snapping like they got no common sense. When we approach with confidence, revoking confidence. His offense stiff enough to throw the hardest to the fence. The raw is what it is, you can't stop it like jail runs. And ain't no time for him, he's opposite of well done. Rare without care, put clocks on the line. Comfortable with my flow, it's like I got Crocs on my rhymes. No, rocket science, fuck the
Yo, what's going on, world?
Yes,
It's your
sir.
boy V on the face, FO in the building, baby. We about to get it popping, man. I'm here. We 50% fuss, 50% fantasy football, but 100% facts. I'm here with these gentlemen, man, ready to wrap up week 7 and move on to week 8. We made it through the buys, y'all. We're going to try to keep it pushing and make the playoffs in a bunch of these leagues. I'm here with these gentlemen to give y'all a helping hand, and it is Jay Rees, the gambler.
FO, baby, it's about to get spooky.
Ooh, it is spooky season, man. And you already know it's getting real spooky with our next host. We got Silly C with the numbers.
Haha, what's up? It's your boy.
It's your boy.
Yeah, boy.
All right, man. So we're going to kick off this week like we kick off every week, man. And we're going to let y'all know some of them bets and some of those fantasy players we were just a day late and $1 short on. Let's get it popping. Yeah, man, there's a ton of bets this weekend, man. And even though we like to help people win, we always like to point out some of the things we fell a little short on and day late and $1 short. Silly C, what fantasy players were you a day late and $1 short on this past week?
Wow. Well, fantasy-wise, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
He went completely ham and monstrous. He had a very big game. Just quote some of his numbers: 10 receptions, 156 yards, 13 targets, and 2 touchdowns out of that. Like, he pretty much caught everything thrown down. And then let's talk about the Titans, let alone what they did. Just a day late, $1 short on that. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, man, I've kind of foreseen that about to happen. It was definitely it felt like a game that Kansas City could lose, and they definitely blew it. Now everybody's questioning them. Take that I haven't been a day late and $1 short on is that Patrick Mahomes is falling off. I guess the bets that he is falling off, man, and I was one of the first to say it. I was just like, it's just a little weird, man. Look a little different when it's not.
I think you need to cool your heels on that one.
Man, I'm not saying that he's like going to be trash forever, but I mean, this is going to be a down year for him. I just say temper all your expectations, and the Chiefs are no longer the favorite. There might be a new big dog in the AFC, and it could be the Tennessee Titans. But the bets I was the day late and $1 short on is those heavy lines we was looking at last week, and I told y'all that they was going to cover all of them, and they did in all 3 of them. And I was just upset that I didn't take any action on them because they covered them pretty comfortably.
Not in the Detroit one.
Not in the Detroit and the LA one. Yeah, that one didn't. But the Cardinals and the other one in the Bucks and the Bears definitely were some pretty bad blowouts. No disrespect, Jay Reese. I know Cody likes to take his digs, but I won't. What bets was you a day late and $1 short on this past week, Jay Reese?
I just want to say, since we are talking about the Tennessee Titans, everybody's going to remember the Titans for the performance they've been putting up the last 2 weeks over the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's been real spooky for me this past weekend, man. I was up and down on the bets, up and down in my account. Things got to rolling on Sunday night. Had a nice, three-player prop parlay, looking real good. Hit that. Monday came around, had Jameis Winston over 200 yards.
Yeah.
Had Alvin Kamara over 25 yards receiving. He smashed that.
Yeah.
Had the Saints winning. Got all those 3, but I fell a day late and $1 short by putting Marquez Callaway a part of that parlay. Little buddy needed 42 and a half, and I think he got 33 yards. Really upset me on Monday night. That game was a stinker.
Man, that's always tough when you add that extra thing just for that extra little odds boost and then mess around and just mess up the whole parlay. But yeah, speaking of stinkers, that Monday night game was just a huge stinker, man. And man, I just watching it felt like, 2001 NFL, but like just way less interesting. I don't know. I just didn't think I could be less interested in a Monday night game. But the Manning brothers did their thing on ESPN too. All right, y'all. So we'll push it from a day late and a dollar short. And it is spooky season, gentlemen. So y'all know what time that is, man. It's time to mask up on them, man. It's like we pandemic, you know what I'm saying, man? Oh man, no, you did it. Oh man, the pirate and the bandito. Silly, how you pulling up, man, to the Halloween show, man? Uh-oh. Party on, Wayne. Oh man, all right, man. This is still F4, but it is Halloween week. So it's time to get in the spirit, man. I don't know how long I could talk to this mask, but I'm gonna try my best. Jay Reeves, what is your costume?
Jay Reeves, El Sancho.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what mine is. It's just a mask, man. I just came masked up like a pandemic. But we gonna get it popping, man. We are in the Halloween portion of the season, man, and it's time for us. It's time for me to take this mask up. Yeah, man, but it's time for us to get it popping, man, and figure out what fantasy players are tricks and which ones are going to treat you coming up, man. So let's dive into some of these performances that happened this past week. Silly C, let's start with you. Joe Burrow, is he a trick or is he a treat? Oh, you're muted.
I think Joe Burrow definitely is a treat right now.
He's looking like a snack.
He looking like a snack. He's looking real good right now through the first 7 games. 1,956 yards, 17 touchdowns, and only 8 picks. So he's definitely getting the job done, not turning the ball over too much. 136 fantasy points. I think he's actually the treat, definitely.
Yeah, man, definitely balled out and has been a treat for a lot of people that stashed him and depended on him for a start and a big bye week for quarterbacks. Jay Reeves, is Mac Jones a trick or is he a treat?
This one's a little tricky. I almost feel like he's kind of on the fence with me. I feel like in the future, he may be a nice little snack. He may be a treat. Right now, he's kind of tricking off games, so I can't really roll with him this season.
Man, all right, man. Yeah, Mac Jones, he has been up and down, but that was a big outburst on the Jets. But that's starting to just look like what teams do to the Jets. We'll go right back to the unexpected Cincinnati Bengals. And Cody, what do you think about that tight end that popped? I think it's Uzomah?
CJ Uzomah.
CJ? Yeah, man, he balled out. Definitely had a big game along with Joe Burrow. What do you think about him? Is he a trick or is he a treat?
Right now, I say he's a trick, but if he continues to play like he is, he'll definitely be a treat. He got the size, 6'6", 260. 17 receptions, 256 yards, 15.1 yards per reception with 5 touchdowns. You have to think that might slow down, especially for a tight end position, but he's definitely a beast mode right now. So I say he could be a treat, but he's a trick right now.
Yeah, man. Well, a lot of the Patriots and Bellatrix backfield is always something that be tricking us. Jay Reeves, I got tricked into putting Ramondre in my starting lineup just to have him pulled at the last second. I had to make some last-second switches, but Brandon Bolden, he made a big appearance and a big impact on Mac Jones's big day. What do you think? Is Brandon Bolden a trick or is he a treat?
Brandon Bolden has been producing at a real tricky rate his whole career. He's definitely a trick, especially when he's in the Bill Belichick backfield. I cannot trust Brandon Bolden at all. I can't really trust anybody in that backfield except for Damian Harris, and I really can't trust him because I just cut him like he was trash.
Yeah, I mean, and then from a backfield that you can't really trust anybody to a backfield where it seems like you could just dress anybody and roll them out and get 100 yards. Ernest Johnson for the Cleveland Browns, is he going to be a trick or a treat? I'll let both of you guys touch on that.
I think right now he's a treat. We'll have to see what happens. I mean, Chubler is probably expected to be back next week, so I don't know how much playing time he's going to get. But with that banged up backfield, he's definitely going to get a chance. So, and that offensive line, like I was talking about at the beginning of the year, beast mode.
Yeah. Jay Reeves, what do you think about Ernest? You think his value only remains as long as the other backfield pieces are healthy?
Well, you're not going to really see any explosive games like you saw against the Denver Broncos, especially with Nick Chubb back in the backfield. But Ernest Johnson is definitely a treat to have right now, especially with Kareem Hunt being on the ER. So I would have to say that bull is a treat.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Pause. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, a lot of people are having trouble sleeping right now. We'll go to one of my favorite Halloween horror movies. That's Nightmare on Elm Street, man. What NFL coaches should be losing sleep over job security? Obviously, Vic Fangio with a huge, upsetting loss last Thursday. We all thought he should have been fired last week. Silly C, do you see anybody else that should be watching out for their job or maybe having nightmares?
Urban Meyer, definitely. I think he's probably on his way out the door. Brian Flores, Mike Zimmer. There's a couple, that are kind of right on the wire. Mm-hmm. I think that's real close for a lot of them. Even Joe Judge for the Giants.
Yeah, well, since you want to take all of them, Jay Reeves, is there any that you could think? Maybe starting with your second team.
Well, Silly just crushed that one right there, but that was one that's on my mind, particular my second team, the Bears. Matt Nagy, along with the general manager, they both should have been fired last year, but Justin Fields bought them some time, but now it's kind of looking like they're not coaching them up to speed. So Matt Nagy, definitely on the hot seat.
Yeah, man. Justin Fields might be able to buy them time, but he's not able to buy himself very much time, getting sacked at a very high clip, man, and just kind of feels like he's trapped. So that brings me to another one of my favorite horror movies, Jigsaw, man. Definitely. What fantasy players do you feel trapped by, Jay Reeves? Like, do you feel like you can't cut somebody, or like they just got the nagging injuries? Like, what fantasy players do you feel trapped by?
Currently this year in fantasy, nobody cares about my fantasy team.
Oh, this question we gonna care.
Nobody cares about your fantasy.
I'm living carefree, and my records kind of show that in the leagues of mention, because I'm cutting fools, I'm trading fools. I really don't care, and I'm starting to see that that's really not panning out for me. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't care about nobody this year. Kind of like I don't care about my fantasy team.
Oh, man, you going to toss out the baby and the bathwater, man. Sometimes you got to do it, man. Freaking Silly C, what fantasy players do you feel trapped by?
Man, I said it a while ago that I felt that this player was somebody that you could probably get a lot for, and then we lost Mr. Russell Wilson, and Lockett has just gone complete to the crap hole. And I have him on 3 leagues, and he's literally averaging like 3 points. So Lockett definitely.
Yeah, man, a player that's had me at gunpoint even throughout last season is Christian McCaffrey and these nagging injuries, man. Like when he's away, his team just falls apart, and it really doesn't give him a reason to rush him back because they just become like uncompetitive without him. And Christian McCaffrey, man, he's been holding me in a couple leagues, even last year, just at gunpoint, and it's kind of getting old, man. I have to dump off C-Mac if he can't get rid of some of these nagging injuries, but in the spirit of Halloween, I know Jay Reeves likes them versus battles, but this time we're going to take it a little bit out. In a 3-way match, who wins, Jay Reeves, Freddie, Jason, or Michael Myers? Who you got?
This question is really not that tough for your boy. I grew up on Freddie, and I just feel like Freddie's the man. I didn't really watch Michael Myers, and Jason was just all right to me. It's a whole bunch of white people running around, acting the fool, jumping in places where you shouldn't be hiding at. I always like Freddie, man, and here's why: because he got in your dreams and haunted you in your dreams and then haunted you in real life. One of my favorite Freddies was, I want to say Freddy 3, when that fool jumped in the Nintendo and was terrorizing people in the video game. So I have to definitely go with Freddy.
Yeah, man, I always messed with Freddy heavy as well, man. I mean, what could make something more terrifying that you have to do? Like, you have to sleep. And if a man makes you like afraid to go to sleep, feel like Freddy is a problem. And not only that, you seen him in the combat hand to hand. He was whooping Jason before those other dudes intervened. Just the way he was able to get in Jason's head, break him down to a little boy, and then just was giving him the business, man. But the other people got involved, and then Freddy ended up with his head chopped off. Cody, who wins, Freddy, Jason, or Michael Myers?
Yeah, I definitely have to go with Michael.
I knew that you do.
That like that creep up on you. And Jason, he just run you down or walk you down, should I say? Freddy, obviously, I think Freddy's a gangster. That whole dream piece is just, crazy. But Michael Myers, man, he'll run up on you, sneak right up on you, and I think he'd do what Jason couldn't do to Freddy and finish him off.
Yeah, man. Well, so, I mean, I guess everybody's just leaving Jason as the odd man out. The guy that actually won the head-to-head, but that's how it goes, man. Remember, this is F4, 50% fuss, 50% fantasy football, and 100%.
Yes! Wayne's World! Wayne's World!